this out, and hopefully it switches over to you.
I hope it's a good thing if that is the last one.
Yeah.
Yay. Okay, if we can figure HDMI, we can figure everything else. Yay, I wanted the moment of truth is there. So, Power BI user group, as I've seen, many of you have been in SQL Saturday. And if any of you have been on Charles Sterling's lecture about the news in Power BI? Anyone? Just one, two? Okay, so some of the things here, at least the first 15 minutes, are just a recap of the 50 minutes of, wow, that's awesome, that we had back there with Charles. So that will be a little repetition of those things. And the next things will be mostly around custom visuals and custom visualizations. So let me just have the who am I slide. So that's me. I like beer and Power BI and dancing. And I know, weird combination. I'm a data platform MVP, I'm a BI consultant, have several projects, and I am a user group activist of Office 365, Power BI, and SQL, and whatever is in between. So Twitter, LinkedIn, website, and the presentation is already or will be on Meetup, so you guys are welcome to share. The important stuff. What are we here to talk about? So, latest and greatest released in September by Microsoft for the Power BI. Intro to custom visuals, visuals about visuals. In SharePoint we have data about data, the metadata, so this is the same thing. Checking some visuals. The advantages and disadvantages are going to be throughout the slides deck, but this is important to set in the agenda, so you'll kind of be prepared to what to see. First thing first, latest and greatest, the September release. So the latest and greatest is this pretty thing. It looks like a wave or a whale or something like this, and it's very, very beautiful. And basically, it gives you a lot the same ability that stacked column. If you pile a column on a column on a column, it does the same way, but it looks much better. And we'll see it in, live in a few seconds. And this is called the ribbon, because it's like the ribbon that the gymnast is waving when she's practicing. There's also this thing, which is the new time storytelling. This is something that I must say I could not tame. I tried, but but you need to prepare very carefully your data set. So we will use the Microsoft example, and I am sure that as the feature comes along and more features are released and more things are happening with that, it's going to be better. It's going to be better to use. We'll just get used to it. The theme, except for the theme, for the timeline and the ribbon, we have got the themes. The theme has changed because now we can edit not only the colors, but also the font, the text size, even things like data labels control and report. In the theme, there are two things. And if there is one thing that you're taking from this lecture is this, the theme creation for the color match challenge, me. So here, you'll basically pick a color and create the theme for yourself. This is something we'll see live, and the link is up here. So, time storytelling and the rest, let's try and present. The first thing first, the theme picker. So this is one of the things that was new in the September Power BI release. The URL is right here in the Power BI tips. What basically is happening here that you can select the color and you can add the color to the theme, to the data colors. You select another color and you add this color as well. But this is not all. You can do also the background color by selecting yet another color and adding it to the background color. Yes, of course, the UI is still very basic, but I guess this is going to change when they enhance it to some kind of a tool. So let's pick one of those reds. And we got this thing going on for us. Besides that, we can use the text size, change the text size, the font family, and so on and so on and so on. Even the bar chart, how transparent is this? How transparent is this? The text size on the bar chart, the position, if some is at the top or on the bottom. All of this is going to be added into one JSON file. So we no longer need to basically, we no longer need to actually write the code. Microsoft writes it for us using this great tool. And why is it good for? Because we can just add the theme in Power BI. Who added the theme in Power BI before? Okay, so I guess I need to add the theme in Power BI. And we'll add the theme in Power BI just to make sure that our dashboard is changing. So after we set all those things, we just we're naming the theme as presentation theme. And we can download the theme. And this JSON file is going to the themes section. As you can see, there are other themes in there. Okay, we'll just. Perfect. What is the other option? The other option is just for the color code. Because I've chosen the green, the red, the blue, the pink, and I have no idea what is what and what is going to combine well. There is a tool that Charles Stanley from Microsoft created just for that, for those people who are kind of struggling with the color choices. And it's by they're based on a theory of the ratio aspects between hue, lightness, and saturation, and all the aspects that are even notebook from notebook of Leonardo da Vinci. So every time you use this, think of Leonardo da Vinci, you kind of painting. We are creative here. Create color theme. You just choose one single color. I wanted the blues ones, or I wanted the yellow ones, and that's basically it. I apply it, and I get the file. Now I can name it yellow. And now I have got my blue theme and I've got my red theme that I can apply to colors. And this is important because it automates a process that otherwise is very tedious of defining each and every field in each and every visual that we have got. Right, so this was this was about the themes and colors. Let's check the cool ribbon theme, right? We wanted to see the ribbon theme. So in order to see the ribbon theme, I have done something that is called fish. Just a second. I call it the fish dashboard. Why is it the fish dashboard? I get all those data sets from places that are for free. Yes, we all wanted the business case scenario, the business usage scenarios, and so on and so on. Sometimes the business data is a little hard, the real data to get, and also it's much more fun to talk about, for example, fish. So here we have got the ribbon and something that cannot be displayed, and I'll just explain why. This is the ribbon. We can see here fish that were surveyed in several surveys. This is our data. The data set is talking about fish that were surveyed for quantity in England for about 10 years in the 90s. So we can see their distribution according to species and according to, species and according to each and every area. So we can see how many, we have counts of zero catch. This is one of our measures. We have got for the specific species and the counts of, and how many samples were taken. We can, of course, filter by each data, and just like any custom visual that we are so customized to is doing. This cannot be displayed because this specific custom visual is built with RScript. RScript is sometimes spotty in the current Power BI version. So I guess this is going to be fixed in next month. RScript's visuals also, when published in the gallery, and this is something I'll show in a couple of minutes, are not displayed as well. So we are waiting for some of the next versions. Meanwhile, the dashboard version is working pretty good, and sometimes this one as well, but not always. Why is this visual still important? Because it's a scatter plot. So it also gives us the distribution of the specific population. Right, so we said that we want to add the theme. Now it looks kind of gloomy and fishy. We want to add the thing that we have created before, and so we are going to this place called Switch Team, and we are importing the team and the team's gallery. So let's take the yellow theme and import it into the graph. As you can see, all the colors changes immediately because this is Microsoft Visual. That means it is reacting with the team. However, you can see that this one did not react with the team. And this is one disadvantage of the custom visuals that I will be talking about the whole hour. They are not responsive usually to themes. Most of them have got all those nice little customizations going on for them about the colors and themes and scopes, but they haven't got the theme applied to them once it is applied for the rest of the report. Yes?
So the stock ones, are they generally responsive to the themes, or some of them, even the stock ones, don't work?
Some of them work.
Oh.
Some of them work,
Okay.
very few. Of the 20 that I have reviewed, only one changed with the theme. Yes.
Impressive.
Okay, so I guess there are more of the custom visuals that are changing with the theme. And this is just one room for improvement. You can always go, all those custom visuals, or at least most of them are in GitHub. They're open source, open code. Maybe someone in this room will say, okay, we want the themes to be out there and just help us to improve our environment a little bit. I don't know if it's possible, but it's definitely something to look into. So we changed the theme. We've seen the ribbon. We have seen, but we haven't seen another very important capability that was introduced in September, and this is the drill down. Now, we all know drill down, right? We go create hierarchy, and then we have fishes of species 1, under fishes of species 2, and fishes of species 3. Or we have got the country, city, and so on hierarchy. But what if we could have pressed on an area and already have the page, which is area species, filtered with everything we have chosen here for the area? So this is something new that is optional in the new Microsoft, in the new release. Drill through. So this drill through specific is connected to area species pages and to the run compares pages. So we're all in British Columbia, so I guess we know what Salmon Run is. But this is not exactly that. The run compare is just comparing each and every time how many services were added to the data set. So we are, for example, choosing 1 or 2 fielders, and then we are going to this drill through, just a second, drill through area species. We can see that the page that we visited before now is displayed about the R script with the right filter that we have chosen before. And also we can see that now the ribbon doesn't look so nice and pretty, right? Because we are taking only one stack from all the column stacks. So when you choose one column, even the ribbon behaves just like a column stack. So that's another thing to consider when you want to wow someone with a nice ribbon and getting that. So just take in mind that you need at least 2 categories in order to have it displayed. Right, so on in our slide we had another great thing, and another great thing was about the timeline. The timeline, basically storytelling timeline looks like this. Here I didn't do anything, I just downloaded the timeline from the Microsoft Power BI, from the Power BI site. What is happening around here, this timeline is for a different data set, no more fish. This is about, I guess, golf players, looks like it. And the golf players are telling a story of who won when for all their championships. You can see the data. Yes. You can see the data analyzed by person. I'm sorry for the late performance a little bit. Analyzed by person, by stats, who won in which years, who was in the, who was training and participating in events in every given time. So this is just one custom visual that does all that. It's complete. It's very, very impressive. But first of all, it's better to use that with a data set that contains text and not just what we used to product name or fish name, and that's it. Also, it's better to contain with data that has pictures because it illustrates very nicely on the first page. And all those spiralas and other things are that set around timing that needs to be built carefully. So just explore it. And I must say that there is a competition, and this brings me back to my slides deck, I hope. There is a competition, timeline storytelling contest, September 5th to 18th, so we're basically closing to its end. You can upload to the visual data gallery your story with the timeline story. It can be about your ancestors, it can be about tennis players, it can be about different species of fish. This is what I tried and failed. But all those story tales can be uploaded, and even they have some kind of a prize there. Okay, so those are data storytelling timeline, some tips and tricks, and some ideas of what you can do. It's in the text. If you want, you can read it later. Let's do more interesting stuff. All right, more interesting stuff. And no, it's not. Okay. What are custom visuals and where can we find them? Finally, we are getting to the presentation itself. So what are custom visuals, even though it's written? Anybody? Anybody seen custom visual? Just 5 seconds ago? Okay, perfect. You used custom visual, for example, which custom visual you used?
The actual fish diagram, the
The fish.
aquarium.
Okay, that's better. And you liked it?
Love it.
Loved it. For what you used it?
It was more understanding where the business environment was for engagements between customers and a cloud solution provider.
Okay.
And it was just seeing how much usage of a cloud solution was being distributed across the different customers, and the size of the fish was based on that usage amount. So an internal company that was the cloud solution provider could look at each of those fishes and on a high level say, here are the customers that that mean a lot to us, and we need to understand exactly what are those customers doing right so that we can replicate that business model across our other customers.
Wow, that's great. So that's a great use of fish diagram. We could use for that particular purpose also the bubble diagram, bubble charts. It basically does the same, but the fish look prettier sometimes. And there are also the scatter plots of some types. So he's telling the story with data, but this exact same story can be told in at least 5 more custom visuals in 5 more ways. This is a great usage of the business case. So I'm happy. Anybody else? Okay, so that's good. That's it's a learning curve. How do we use them? They can basically be added as a file, can be added from the store, or can be created. And we find them in the gallery for all of us Office 365 users. It's the same Office 365 store that contains all the rest of the products, and they are for free. That's the good part. So what can go wrong with a free product? Come on. So those are the things to be aware of. There is a list. For example, there is one custom visual that I really liked. It's called Brick Chart. But now it's less functional and it's less supported, and it just doesn't do the trick anymore because they did not update it. It's a free product. There's no point. Not adding to the default with a new report. That means I create new report. I only have the default stack of Microsoft. That's it. The rest I need to re-add each and every time from scratch, and I forget which is what because there are plenty of fish, and that's why we things can go kind of wrong. Filters, not always filtering and reversing. I will show you next, especially in the diagrams that have got drill downs. We have got some donut diagrams and a couple of level diagrams. Sometimes they just don't filter up, or it takes them a little longer, especially if the internet is spotty. you can be in a problem there. So watch for that. Usually, themes are not effective. 1 of 20 was effective, so that's about the ratio, I guess. Code might not be updated. Also, you did not install RPAR.
On the code may not be
Yes.
updated, I'm kind of curious, now, are you pushing back to, on that one, to the developer may not update the code, or what happens with a custom visual today? Because I know it used to be that when you imported it,
Yes.
if the developer released a new version, the only way you got it was to go and re-download the custom visual again. Have they fixed that?
No.
Oh, I don't think so.
It's going to, yes, I'm sure. This is those two things, and another thing you need to update if you do not got the .NET package, suddenly you need to install .NET on your computer. If you haven't got the R, suddenly you need to install R. I had to reinstall it this morning, and I was like, I'm not reinstalling in the morning of the presentation something, but now I cannot see the custom visual that is on R. Happens. So those kind of things are happening. This is free product, and we as the users and as the community are responsible to improve those free products. So they're great ideas. Maybe some of them need rebuilding. Most of them, however, or at least the ones that I've mentioned, usually work great. And the business users, this is not downtime of like to wait not even a minute usually. It's usually about 30 seconds, 20 seconds. It's annoying, but it's not a latency that is not bearable. Although when you're standing right here, you feel like that's the end of the world. So up to you. And dashboard crashing. Too many visuals. When you have the dashboard with too many visuals, there is a problem. It might crash, things might go not as planned. And it happened to me, for example, a couple of days ago. So what do I mean by too many? This, okay? So this is a lot, and this dashboard specifically, because it has so many custom visuals, maybe, or because maybe of those, what I've been talking about, the hierarchies, it was not on its best performance. However, this is a very heavy data set, and it has many, many pages, and it's just a report. I didn't even create a dashboard out of it. So there are other things that might have gone wrong. But I'm saying this because we are here in the user group, and I don't want to say everything works perfect. I want to put the right things of what to beware, and the best practices around those things as well. So just like a heads up or something. Oh, and now the pictures are back. Those were the pictures in the presentation. This is the gallery, the office store, and the too many dashboards. Too many custom visuals. Okay, what's next? Next is the data store gallery. We have got lots of custom visuals, and my first presentation here in the Power BI user group was about telling my story with data. That means that was my sort of resume. Same thing goes with all the rest of the Microsoft community. We all want to tell our story this way or another with data. So the fish dashboard that you have seen today is basically on the data storage gallery. The data storage gallery contains sample solutions, solution templates, so you can basically download them, even things that connect in, for example, I've seen there for Facebook or other things. Partner solution, I chose, for example, Hitachi, and I will show you just one dashboard, and this is because I've never worked with them, so I can't say anything. How do I add the story gallery? Publish the report, go to submit your story, add all the details, and share. Downside, you cannot delete. Share, that's it. So, yes. Sometimes it can be awkward. So let's start with the custom visual gallery. There it is in the Office Store, custom visual gallery. Lots to see, lots to learn. You can even define it by specific filters like gouges, editor sticks, and maps, and download everything from here for free. It's the same thing that you can see from Power BI, so there's no surprise, hopefully. Partner showcase. Maybe this was so slow. Okay, we'll give it a second. And the data storage gallery. So the data story gallery contains all the latest and greatest of the data stories that people are publishing. There is another site called Kaggle that I am recommending it in my presentation, and it also contains data stories and lots of data competitions. I sometimes participate. It is very important. I think you've mentioned it in your lecture last year. It's important to see what latest and greatest there. All my data, most of my data sets are from there. But this is more on the mathematical and statistical analysis. This is purely visual. I love it much more. So there are so many great stories in what to do with Power BI here. You can see also the Tableau data stories. They might be more impressive visually, but much harder to create. So here are things that you can mostly download. Now you can also vote on things and download the Power BI file if it is attached. The fish and the animal rating, and this is why I asked you if you want to bring your computer or cell phone, but mostly computer, you can go to the data story gallery and view the report from here and download the report and do whatever you need to do with the report and all the data sets. If you have internet. If you don't have internet, you just reload it and hope for the best. So I'll probably display mostly from cache, because in Microsoft we don't have internet. So that's the data story gallery. I've mentioned that from in the data story gallery, so if you go here, download the Anime dashboard, we'll talk about it in about 5 to 10 minutes. I've mentioned that there is also data about the custom visuals. So after presenting you the data story gallery with all its great solutions, let's go to 2 solutions that are very important to us. And those are the custom visual evaluation in Power BI. And those solutions also will help us to know what's the little glitches around the data gallery. First of all, the number. You see, there are 86 visuals in here. Currently, we have 126, I think, visuals in the gallery. No, 123, sorry. Visuals in the gallery. What that means that the data set is not refreshing. Problem number 1. Problem number 2, you cannot delete. Problem number 3, ours not always displayed. The good thing is that you have like very, very gorgeous dashboard with all the filtering, and you can, I don't need to even explain anything, you have all the information right here in the dashboard that a user named, okay, that's a chant.
Gil
creator,
Raviv.
yeah, Gil Raviv.
It's Gil Raviv.
It's Gil from Israel, yeah. He's Microsoft, then,
Not anymore.
no? Ah, well, okay.
The independent consultant now.
Nice. So, yes, you wanted to ask something,
Yeah.
Scott?
So am I
Yeah.
right, you can then download this solution and have a peek at it, what is good in the covers?
Specifically this? No.
No, okay.
It depends, and this is one mistake that I've made. The first solution that I've uploaded, the fish one, I did not upload the Power BI X file right away. I wanted to edit and I couldn't. Maybe he wanted and couldn't too. So just comment, I'm sure he'll send you.
If you need it, email it.
So those are things that are, I've even seen them somewhere in the things to fix that they have got here, the tips and the problems. So, but this is a great solution, and there is another one that is actually prettier because this one is using the custom theme. By the way, this is one of the customized solutions we are not going to review. This is slicer by document preview and slicer by pictures, but you need pictures for that data set. So just in case. There is another solution by Alex Potter, which is prettier. The fish is here. You can see the fish. And it looks prettier, and it also reminds me of all the Gartner charts because you have like the scatter of who is where on the rating side. And this is when you are choosing a custom visual, it's very important to read the reviews. Just like with every application you would choose in the store. If Angry Birds wasn't having great review, no, now it's Pokemon Go, sorry. You wouldn't download it, so you wouldn't download it. The same way is here. If it doesn't have great reviews, if it doesn't have stars, things might be problematic. That might mean you want to tell your story with another data visual. Our time is limited. Let's pick the ones that were already tested. If you have time like me, then you can just test all of them. So that's another very important dashboard. links in my presentation. Just review it and figure out which one is the best for you. So, for example, the highest rating here are the drill downs and candlesticks, the one that you have mentioned with the stocks. You have mentioned that you wanted the stocks data review. So the candlesticks and other things are very, very popular and rated. Right. So let's close those two and continue right here. Okay. So we have reviewed what we have got in the data store galleries. We have tried to look at the partner solution. Just go and look at the partner solution. It's also a very, very nice dashboard with business data from their clients, which is, of course, allowed to share. And we've reviewed how do I add to the story gallery, which is basically add to the story gallery. If you want me to show that, I can go to the story gallery. Okay. Oh, I have already turned in views. That's nice. And submit your data story. And here you go. Okay. If somebody discovers some kind of a way to change stuff, let me know so I can publish the Power BI file behind the fish dashboard. So this is where you submit the data story to the gallery. Okay. Next in line, visuals about visuals. There are 106 visuals. Sorry, I made a mistake here. And the two dashboards in the data story gallery, which you can always go and review and share. And the power of security. This session, when I started to plan it, was a little bit earlier, before the August introductions, which means that I really wanted to have a Power BI dashboard that I could share on my Office 365 account and publish it as an application and share it with all of you guys. And it used to work. In April, I presented things like that. And it used to work, and people could see the dashboard, filter it, add stuff, and it was pretty much fun. Now there is a slight problem. The licensing has changed, and you can no longer share. That means emails like this. So I am emailing somebody my Power BI dashboard, and this is what this somebody is seeing. You cannot access it without logging into Power BI, without paying. You have 30 days trial, I think, or 60 days trial, but that's it. After this, you need to pay for the license. So that's news, yes.
If you're okay with embedding it in a completely publicly accessible webpage,
Yes.
you can get around that. It's
Yes.
only if you actually want to have somebody log in that you got to pay for it.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
for what it's worth.
For the public data, this is very important. For data that is public, if you use the fish data set or anything from Kaggle or anything that your client is like, go do whatever you want with it, then it's perfect. You can put it in your website or in the solution gallery or anywhere else, and everything is perfect and you can view it and you don't need Power BI. However, if you want to protect your data, this is what's happening.
Yeah, that's a whole different story.
Yes. The thing is,